Thanks to our friends at The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/ASYM for the top 10 stocks to buy right now. One of the companies that I think has a potential to be a $1 trillion company or $1 trillion stock in the next decade or so is a very underappreciated company right now. That is Cruise, which is the autonomous driving company 80% owned by General Motors. Now, General Motors is nowhere near a $1 trillion valuation, but they actually own most of Cruise, and Cruise is on an absolute growth tear right now. I want to go over why I'm so excited about this company, why I think the potential is so high. My name is Travis Hoyam. Thanks for watching Asymmetric Investing. Please subscribe here on YouTube for all my content. And to start things off, I want to explain exactly what Cruise does. Cruise is an autonomous driving company, but is specifically built for ride sharing. Right now, what they're testing is this vehicle right here. This is a Chevy Bolt that has been retrofitted with all of the technology. You can see a lot of that on the rooftop. And that's what senses what's around a vehicle. Are there cars? Are there people? Where's the street? All of that kind of stuff that allows the vehicle to drive itself. But the next step for Cruise is going to be this vehicle right here, the Cruise Origin. The Origin is a little bit like a miniature bus. Will carry multiple passengers. The seats actually face each other. There's no driver. And you can see here that it's a very different design from a traditional vehicle built specifically for ride sharing. So think about this like Uber or Lyft, but a very custom specific vehicle, no driver. Management has already said that they're trending toward about $1 per mile in cost. That would put them at a lower cost basis than competitors like Uber or Lyft, who not only have to pay drivers to operate their vehicles, but the drivers themselves need to make money. You also increase the number of use cases for things like mobility, so people with wheelchairs can use the Cruise Origin. And the other piece is delivery of things like food and other delivery items, which has become a massive business for Uber. That's something that Origin could do as well. So the way to think about Cruise is as a autonomous ride-sharing company, but instead of your supply being people and drivers using their own vehicles, you actually own that supply, and it's an autonomous vehicle. That means you can control the costs. You can make sure there's enough vehicles available when people need rides. I think this really opens up an even bigger market than we've seen with Uber, Lyft, or Instacart, companies like that that have really exploded over the last decade. And so why do I think $1 trillion is not out of the realm of possibility? Well, look at Uber's market cap, currently worth about $100 billion. The company does have some debt, about $11 billion worth of debt. This is a massive company. And if we look at Cruise's, and if we look at revenue and free cash flow, $35 billion in revenue, free cash flow, a little over $2 billion. Now, to put this into context, Mary Barra, the CEO of General Motors, has said that Cruise, she expects, can generate $50 billion in revenue by 2030, so 7 years from now. This is just a growth tear for Cruise if they're able to pull this off. And put this into context. About a year ago, Cruise was operating in one city, in San Francisco. It isn't all that long ago the company got its commercial license to actually take external customers on rides and actually have them pay for those rides. That service has now expanded to 3 cities, and the company is already doing initial mapping or rolling out those commercial operations in 15 cities. So in a year, we've gone from 1 city to 15 that Cruise is working on. That is just a tremendous growth path. On top of that, we have the Origin, which is already reaching production and testing. We're going to likely see that on the road by the end of this year. So if Cruise can go from effectively $0 in revenue in 2023 to $50 billion in revenue in 2030, how do you value a company that is growing that quickly? I think that's where you get to the point where Cruise could be worth $1 trillion. This could be one of the most valuable companies in the world because it is disrupting how we think about transportation. Now, the great thing for investors is if you are buying General Motors today, you're getting the stock at a single-digit price to earnings multiple. General Motors is free cash flow positive, and they own 80% of Cruise. So this potential that I'm talking about with Cruise is pure upside for investors. That's why I am so excited about Cruise, about the potential for investing in General Motors. I don't necessarily want to own the auto business, but I do want to own Cruise, and that's where I see the upside. But what do you think about the potential for Cruise? Love to hear your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to Asymmetric Investing. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you here next time.